Hello all. So RTX has been going on for the last 2 days and we've gotten some great new information on RWBY. First and foremost, it is coming out November 2nd. I think it's a bit later than it has been in past volumes, though I don't mind if it ends up with some improved quality. This may also be a result of the crunch that a lot of people have been complaining about online. You know, they don't want to work their animators quite to death, just close to it. We also got a little synopsis on what to expect in Volume 7. RWBY, Weiss, Blake, and Yang have fought hard alongside their friends to bring the Relic of Knowledge to Atlas, the northernmost kingdom in Remnant. However, the futuristic urban sprawl may hide just as much danger as the grim-infested tundra that surrounds it. Enemies and allies will collide as our heroes fight to stop Salem's forces, but banding together is dangerous when you don't know who you can trust. That sounds pretty accurate to me. I mean, Lionheart turned out to be a traitor. There's no reason to think that others won't betray them. I mean, I really doubt the general is going to turn out to be working for Salem. That just seems incredibly unlikely. He's hard, he's loyal, he's determined to protect his people above all else. I mean, on the other hand, though, he does seem to hate the system, the nobles, the royals, whatever you want to call them, the rich asses who get by hosting these big parties while everyone else in the world is suffering. That could be how she tricks him, but again, it seems unlikely to me. If I had to guess who the real traitor is, I'm going with Papa Schnee, aka Jacques. Yeah, he's an ass, and I can completely see him betraying Ironwood to Salem with the promise, like, we'll just get rid of him so that you can start selling dust to the entire kingdom. And he's like, you know what, so I'll help the Grimm a little bit here. We've been fighting them forever. One little loss here isn't going to affect the world too much. And of course, then he might realize down the road, like, oh, I just helped someone who's probably going to wipe out all of humanity, didn't I? My bad. And if it's not him, Whitley is definitely my next choice. I mean, that creepy little kid. I've had a theory for a long time, though a lot of people disagree with me about this one, that Whitley is going to turn out to be a traitor, allying with Salem so that he can kill his father, take over the company. Because we all know Jacques not giving up anytime soon. Alright, so besides all that, we also got a new poster showing us how all the characters are going to look in this new volume, which I love, though I'm a little curious when they had time for a shopping spree when they're, you know, on their way to military base to hide one of the most dangerous weapons in the entire world, but okay. I think it'd be interesting, you know? Heck, maybe even like a fashion montage where they all try on different outfits. Just, you know, for the first episode, I think that could be really funny. Alright, so let's take a look at the characters. First off, we got Yang, who is apparently wearing a jacket, which I find interesting because I assume that the thing she was wearing was always a jacket. Like she was wearing a tank top underneath and she's wearing a jacket on top. So now she's basically wearing a jacket on top of a jacket, which is interesting, I guess. Also, her pants can now be converted to shorts, which I'm sure is very important in the frozen tundra of Atlas. And she's got the nice little belt buckle with her symbol on it. I like that. Her hair, though, her hair is like a freaking burning afro. Just looks absolutely amazing. I love it. And she's got this big, broad smile on her face, which is just a nice change from the last poster we got of her. I don't know, maybe she's so happy because she started a new relationship with someone she's cared about for a long time. We'll see where that goes. Next up is Blake, and she just looks absolutely amazing. She always sported a white coat in the past few volumes, but now it's more form-fitting. It looks just really amazing on her. She's also got like a skin-tight pants for reasons. Oh, they look really good. I like it. Oh, and her sword is fixed. That's helpful. I think a lot of us were expecting her to get like some kind of big weapon upgrade after her sword was broken. Because, you know, she's arguably the weakest member of RWBY right now. You know, because she's arguably the weakest and least effective member of the team right now. So it makes sense, but seems to be the same old weapon. It might be a little longer. Next up is Weiss, and she looks like a freaking knight. It's absolutely amazing. I love it. She's always had the ponytail, but now it's braided and looks just way more elegant on her. And it's interesting that she's sporting a lot of red. Her tiara, her earrings, her coattail, and even her weapon has all red dust in it. I think a lot of people in the White Rose community are saying, oh, this means that White Rose is confirmed. She's moving more and more towards RWBY. Oh my god, she's going White Rose. Definitely confirmed this volume, but I don't think that's the case. I think the red is always more of a tribute to her grandfather, who started the company with his own two hands, who was a hard industrial worker, and who ran it honorably until, you know, her father took over. The red is a reminder of what he accomplished and what she can accomplish, that she can bring the company back to its roots, back to what it's supposed to be. Also a lot of belts for reasons, I'm sure. And finally, we have the leader, Ruby Rose. She just looks absolutely amazing to me. Interesting enough, her skirt is even shorter and less frilly than it was in the past. I was actually looking at the past outfits when making this video, and I realized that with each volume, her skirt has gotten shorter and less froofy. Like, it's more serious now, like, she's taking things more seriously, she's the leader, she's in command, and that's how they're showing it, like, oh, she's serious now, she's wearing a non-frilly skirt with shorts under it, which I'm glad they added shorts under it. That was very much needed. Her hair is also intense. I mean, it looks like something straight out of Dragon Ball, like she's about to go Super Saiyan. And I think my favorite thing about this entire poster has got to be Ruby's cape. For one thing, it's not damaged, which is interesting, but for another, it looks like it's protecting the rest of her teammates. Like it's slightly covering Weiss, but it's also like wrapped around Blake as if saying that Ruby is the leader. She's here, she's protecting her teammates, she's keeping them safe, she's making sure that everything goes okay for them. Because let's not forget, Atlas is essentially the slaveholders' capital of the world. I think there is a very good chance that at some point in this volume, someone is going to attempt to buy Blake from Ruby. And Yang will probably murder that person. Oh god. I said it, but I really wish I hadn't. It's probably... I can really see it happening, and I can really see it just making me super sad. Despite that, though, I really do hope they mention this at some point in this volume. I mean, the fact that Weiss's father is essentially the biggest employer of slave labor in the world is something that really should have been brought up in the past. I mean, Blake has never even really questioned Weiss on it. Adam, how the freak did Adam never confront Weiss about the fact that he literally has her company's name branded into his eye? I mean, seriously. You know what? That's a topic for another day. It's just something I really hope we see. It's something they need to bring up. But besides that, I do think the cape really is symbolizing Ruby taking command, being the leader, protecting the people in Ether, and just really taking charge. I know in the past a lot of people have complained that Ruby hasn't really felt like a leader in a long time. But I think in this last 2 episodes of this last volume, she took the command. I mean, it helped that Crow basically quit. You know, he gave up and he just kind of sulked the entire volume, which I know a lot of people complain about, but I thought that was good. I thought it was necessary for Ruby to stand up on her own, to no longer look to her uncle for advice or how to lead her, to figure things out. Now she's deciding things for herself, and that's really important for her, and I'm really proud of her. And I do hope that's something that continues in this next volume, with even Crow looking to her to decide the plan, decide what to do next. Oh, also, no more Ozpin, that certainly helped. Without Ozpin and Crow, Ruby could really shine in ways she couldn't when they were there. And we still have Maria, but she's not much of a strategist, so Ruby is still basically in command even with her around. So those were my thoughts on everything we've learned so far from RTX. Still no information on a trailer for the upcoming season. You know, last time we had the Adam trailer, which I think a lot of people really liked. I mean, in the end, after the volume's over, we kind of felt it was, I don't know, almost anticlimactic. We didn't really learn anything new about him. We didn't really see anything about him. We didn't really even see Adam himself until, like, 3 episodes before the volume ended, so overall, I didn't like it, but when I first saw it, I got hyped, I got excited, I loved it. It told me that this next volume was going to be amazing, that it was going to be spectacular, it was going to be something different, something unique. If I had to guess, I'd say the next trailer we get was going to be a winter trailer, because we know very little about her. I'm guessing she has some kind of weird, complicated relationship with Crow, given how much she hates him. I'm definitely thinking they may have dated at some point. I mean, yes, you can argue that she hates him because unprofessional, he's a drunk, but that much hate feels like it has a source, beyond just his drinking and her mother's drinking. It feels like they may have had a moment together. She might have feelings for him. That'd certainly be interesting. I suppose the trailer could also reveal that she is the Winter Maiden, but that seems really unlikely to me, not just because it'd be way too obvious for Winter to be the Winter Maiden, but just feels like something they wouldn't reveal in the trailer. Her mother, on the other hand, that's a good possibility. Anyway, those are my thoughts on release dates, Synopsis, the outfits, and what I'm hoping to get next from them. Let me know what you think about all that in the comments down below. Be sure to like, subscribe. Until next time.
Peace.